Dr. Paul, thank you very much for that inspiring presentation. We have a number of questions that have come in from the audience today. Some of the questions that came in have already been answered, so we've kind of moved them out. One question here that had a couple of them here that I can answer for you, talking about mainstream media coverage. Well, the good news is in the room today, there's an awful lot of mainstream media coverage. And again, we thank you very much for working with us.
I'm Mary Ann Riley, and I have a few questions here that I would like to ask. The past few years, especially since 9/11, our judicial system has dropped many basic due process protections. Could you address this issue?
I have, to some degree, addressed that, and it is said that we have dropped the due process since 9/11. I think that's obviously the case, because the Patriot Act has contributed to that, and abuse of the rule of law has contributed to it. We are very vulnerable right now because our government does not think that they have to have a proper search warrant to search our possessions, our home, our financial records. It's just done at will. And I see government's responsibility as completely different than today's responsibility. And this is not this administration, this has been a trend over many, many years. It seems like government privacy is the thing that the government is supposed to protect. And yet I see it, the government is supposed to be open. We're supposed to protect the people's privacy. There's no doubt, whether it's the Military Commissions Act, the Patriot Act, the Insurrection Act, and the search warrants, and looking at our records, we have, as citizens, been severely violated.
That's right.
Amen.
This question on what is your viewpoint on abortion concerning pregnancies that would endanger the life of the mother if carried to term?
Asking the question about abortion dealing with the life of the mother. I think that theoretically that question can be a real question. But I have to say that in my 30 years I never had to face that. So it's very, very rare. And it really, my position is, that circumstances can be absolutely perfect, but if a woman has a disease such as cancer, and she's early pregnant or something, she has to make a choice. Do you want to treat it for the cancer? And I think that a lot of women would take the treatment if she knew exactly the danger. Sometimes I've heard cases where women didn't choose to be treated. They had the child, and they survived the cancer. And so, but I don't think we should just say, well, absolutely, and I know the answers, and I have perfect knowledge. This is why the Constitution is so great. See, I don't like the federal government or one court making these decisions. That's why I object to Roe versus Wade, because it's been nationalized. What I want to do is defer to the states. South Carolina should deal with it. Some are very, very difficult. And you have different laws and different judges and different juries to work some of these unusual things. But that is a far cry from the principle that life has no value and we can arbitrarily take life and somebody get paid for it.
What is your stance concerning illegal immigration and border security?
My stance is very clear. Since I'm for the rule of law, I'm not for illegal immigration. Also, the borders are under the jurisdiction of the federal government, so that's one area that I can vote and make choices on the best method. It's very annoying to me to see some of our border guards actually being taken and sent to Iraq. Yeah. That makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for our guard units to be sent overseas either. So I would, the borders should be beefed up. And I prefer civilian patrols over military and guns and fences. That just seems to annoy me. But there's no reason why you can't do it in a very legal fashion, in a more thorough way with border guards. But they say, well, that's going to cost you this, this, and this. Are you going to be willing to contribute that to the deficit? You don't need to. I mean, just bring our troops home. You have the personnel, and you have more money than you could ever need. immigration policy is that, you know, there's an easy saying that goes that if you subsidize something, you get more of it. Well, we as the American taxpayer have been required to subsidize illegal immigration. And that means that I think there's a misunderstanding of the 14th Amendment about birthright citizenship. I think that should be clarified. It should People who break the law should not be get the road to easy citizenship and hurt the people who have been waiting in line. But over and above that is if those who come in are expecting, you know, illegals coming in expect to get easy citizenship eventually, why not bring their families? Why not go to our emergency rooms? Why not go to our schools? I think it's wrong for the federal government to put mandates on the states to provide free welfare care for illegals. We've literally had dozens of hospitals closed in Texas because they went bankrupt because of those conditions.